Hi, I'm Bryan Hartson, and thank you for joining the Bryan Hartson Show. We're here today in beautiful Corona for season 2, episode number 1, and we're outside today. We are outside in front of my house, and I thought it would be a great place for us to have a show. Um, you probably hear some dogs barking. You may hear people talking, babies crying, horns. Who knows what's going to happen? Maybe a train or so, but let's just enjoy our time together. So, today, for today's show, I wasn't exactly sure what I wanted to put together, and I'd given it an awful lot of thought. And then it sort of hit me. So, today my family and I went and did something that I think was pretty neat and had a couple of hiccups with it. And it sort of reminded me of where we are and what's going on. And so it also reminded me of something that was brought to my attention not too long ago, is to find yourself, think for yourself. And Socrates is actually the one that said that, to find yourself, think for yourself. And so that's the subject for today's message. And we've got a bunch of things that are going to be intertwined in today's message. So bear with me as we get through it. A heartfelt meaning towards the end, in a video that will touch your heart, I'm sure. So right now, a lot is happening in the world. With social media, things happen quickly. Voices are loud, tensions, well, they're high. Seems that, well, just a year ago, we were in the midst of riots across America as Black Lives Matter and Antifa, well, they claimed the streets, didn't they? It only got worse for a long period of time, didn't it? Finally, late in the year 2020, things seemed to settle down. And that was until, well, this month. This month seems we are back to the escalated protests. On the news, if you watch the news, the theme is to replay a shooting over and over and over. It is tragic that any person dies at the hands of a gun, let alone the gun of a police officer. These are the men and the women that stand to protect Americans every day. As a matter of fact, they stand to protect us on their off-duty hours as well. It's a requirement. It is a tragedy that there was a death by a gun, which appears to be an accidental shooting of the officer's gun instead of using her taser. Serious? Absolutely. Intentional? That has yet to be seen. The mobs have their own opinion. Now, I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I'll leave that for, well, the judge and the jury to decide. They'll decide what is fact and what is not. What I won't do is pay attention to the media, which inflates and alters news to ensure ratings and the promotion of their own agendas. Yes, there have been accidental discharges over the years, I believe the 10 to be exact. What isn't being discussed are the numerous other deaths that occurred. What isn't being discussed is the millions of times the police officers have put themselves into harm's way to protect us, the citizens of the United States. Oh, and those that are not citizens as well. Let's not forget that they do serve and protect all people. To find yourself, think for yourself. Here's a question for my viewers. Did anyone hear about the NFL player Philip Adams, who shot and killed all but one person? Dr. Robert Leslie, 70, his wife, Barbara, 69, their two young grandchildren, Ada, 9, and Noah, 5, along with a fifth victim, James Lewis, 38, who's working at the Holmes couple on Wednesday. How about the 29-year-old man who was shot in the shoulder while walking in a rear parking lot near Brooklyn Avenue in Bedford shortly after 3:30 a.m. Saturday. Then there's a shooting at a convenience store in Missouri that killed one and injured three others on Saturday. On Easter Sunday, a man was shot and killed at an apartment complex in Buffalo, New York. There also were three shootings that happened late Friday morning, and a 26-year-old man was shot multiple times in Buffalo that same day. Now, we don't hear about those shootings because they are not newsworthy to the media. We do not hear over and over what the media wants us to hear. And this leads us to the current unrest happening now. Racism certainly is a hot topic, and the media is the first to jump on the coverage. True or not, they jump on the coverage. Riots in the streets, illegal fireworks going off in the streets, and people putting themselves in a position of confrontation or worse. Now, I say do wrong, pay the penalty. I strongly support this, and it goes equally for the rioters and unlawful assemblies. How about instead we turn our attention to other lives lost this week and give respect to all losses? Now, today I woke and went down the road to give respect to a fallen officer. Interestingly, I did not see a single Facebook post from a single media outlet covering the procession. Not one. Now, it's not to say that there wasn't coverage by the media, but I would say it was rather light coverage, considering I get notified when there's a car chase in LA, which is almost nightly. I also get notified when there's unrest. Again, almost nightly. Sheriff Jeffrey McKee, 35, a resident of Norco, was killed on the 5 freeway by a rogue tire that crashed into his windshield. That in itself is tragic. What is even more disturbing to me, and it should be to you, is that there is little to no mention of this on the internet or Facebook. There is mention of this in the press enterprise, and if you haven't used up all your free looks on the website, you can read the article for free. While waiting for his procession down the road, some took to Facebook to find out either what was happening or where the procession was in its journey. Hundreds of people did gather for the procession. And if I could, the fire department gave tribute in several ways. The mounted horses, they showed tribute. The neighborhood, they showed tribute for the most part. There's always one, though, isn't there? You know, the one that just gets under your skin because they know how to do it and they're so wrong. The post started simple and harmless on Facebook, a video from a passerby with a question. Funeral? Must be a VIP. While neighbors gave updates, there was the one, Justin. Turns out Justin isn't happy that the officer had a procession. Not happy that the people turned out for the procession either. In fact, his long reign of posts are just plain mean. They were disrespectful to the moments that we have set aside for the fallen officer. While he first objected to taxpayers' monies paying for the funeral, he quickly adjusted his comment, as most deflectors will do, to a different stance. That the money paid for the procession probably should have been paid to the family. So his objection isn't to the money paid, but the money, what the money was used for. His posts grew more and more hateful, and it seems that that is a common theme these days, isn't it? When you're wrong, you just keep changing the story, and that's what Justin did. To find yourself, you have to think for yourself. Socrates, he got it right. Simple, 9 words. Be yourself. Show up. Like the town did today for the fallen officer. Listen to yourself and not that which the media wants you to see or read. Do your research. Think. And most importantly, love one another. Time on this earth is short and precious and can be gone in an instant. I leave you tonight with a video of Officer McGee's procession. Rest in peace. Thank you for your service. And ladies and gentlemen, that is what is on my mind on Hartson's Heart today. God bless.